Hi guys, this is my first YouTube video. I'm nervous, but I'm gonna get through this. So, I'm Whitney. I am a full-time reseller on the Poshmark app, on Mercari, on Depop, and I dabble a little bit on eBay as well. And that's pretty much what this channel is gonna be about. My journey as a reseller is gonna be about, well, my continued journey as a reseller is going to be me giving tips and tricks and advice and just my knowledge that I've learned from my experience, as well as what I've learned from other YouTubers and Facebook groups, as well as wherever else I may have learned it at. So today is kind of like a introduction, just a little bit about me, a basic just coming out video on YouTube. So just a little bit of my background. I started probably at 18 as a makeup artist for the Estee Lauder companies. I also have been a fashion designer, seamstress. I make clothes basically, and those are were my two main career or hobbies or side hustles that I did before starting as a reseller. To start, I started reselling, I want to say back in 2016, I believe it was. Back then I had moved in with my fiance, and he was reselling a lot. Not a lot, but he would resell here and there. He loved sneakers, and every time he bought a pair of sneakers for himself, he would end up looking it up and seeing how much it was worth, and then end up just selling them instead of keeping them for himself, which happened a lot, and he didn't have that many shoes. And then one day we discovered a flea market around where we lived, and you had to get up really early, like 5 o'clock in the morning, because the flea market opened at 6, so like 5 something in the morning. The flea market opened at 6, and me personally, I like my sleep, so I would stay in bed, and he would get up and he would go to the flea market and then come back, and I'd still be asleep, and then he would show me what he got, and then he would end up selling it on eBay or Facebook Market. And I was just looking at him like, I want to do that too. I want to try that. At that time, I was working in retail on the side doing makeup, and then I was also at a Swarovski Jewelers when he started doing the flea market thing. And then eventually I was like, all right, I'm gonna get up and do it. And so I did, and I got a few things, and then that's when I signed up for Poshmark. Turns out I already had a Poshmark since 2012, had no clue, but I did. So on Poshmark it says I've been on for 2012, so I'm just gonna take that. So I started out with my first thing. It was like this Oilers, I think it was Oilers shirt, and like a pair of socks that I thought was Oilers as well, but it was not. But it matched nice, and somebody brought it. And after that first sale, I was like hooked a little bit. So I started selling more. I started going into just my own stuff I had at home, and was just seeing what I could sell, because being in the makeup industry, we get a lot of gratis, we got a lot of things. And then working at Macy's, shoes, buying stuff on sale all the time, I had a habit. So I had plenty of things already in my own closet at home that I could sell, so I started doing that. And then it kind of fell off after a while, and then I kept going back in, and it kept falling off. And then it wasn't until we moved here to Texas, 2017, April 2017, I want to say, or 2018, that I decided to go practically full-time at reselling. And the reason behind that was because I was pregnant with my son, and being here at a new place and pregnant, it would have been hard to get a job. So I was like, I ain't doing that. And then I was like, so I'll just go back to reselling again. And so I started reselling up again. And for that time frame, like before I actually had my son, because I was about 6-7 months pregnant at that time, it was still pretty much like just what was in the house and stuff like that, because I wasn't going out too much to thrift and all of that. I was staying in for the most part. So I started a little bit during that time. Then after I had my son, I stopped for a little bit, but then I kept deciding, like, it just kept coming to where I was like, I need to start back again. And what happened was I was just bored being at home with a baby all the time. And the reason why we moved to Texas was because my fiance had, his dad moved here. He had started a trucking company, so he started working for him. So he was on the road all the time, and I was just at home, bored out of my mind with an infant and had nothing to do. So that's when I was like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. So I started part-time, I'll say. So started part-time selling again on Poshmark. And I was loving it. I mean, honestly, why not? I was loving it. So I just kept doing that. I did stop and go again, but like I said, I'm considering it part-time. So I did that part-time, and then about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, is when it was, I know it was during April, because that was like one of my biggest sell months, probably of 2019, is when I was just like kind of fed up with it. What happened is my fiance, we discovered Nike. Like I said before, he used to sell his shoes all the time from Nike before we moved to Texas. And then when we came here, we found a store and found great prices, and he started reselling again. This time it wasn't on eBay and Facebook Market. This is now a couple years later. I guess, I don't even know if these are new, but I guess new places started popping up, like StockX and Goat. And so he started to sell on there. And the money that we were making from there allowed him to basically stop driving for his dad. So that kind of sucked, but it worked out for us. So that worked out for us. So then he started reselling as well. And I was still doing the clothing, thrifting stuff. And I was just seeing the success he was having. And I was like, I want that too. So April of 2019, I think it was, 2019 is when I was like, we got to do this. I was doing it before, but it wasn't I didn't go as hard. And the numbers showed the difference. So basically, what I sell, I actually have two Poshmarks. I have a thrifted clothing Poshmark, and then I also have a Nike Poshmark for the clothes and sneakers. But he does the Nike men's shoes, and I do women's shoes and clothing for Nike. And sometimes men's shoes or men's clothing here and there, depending on what I find. But primarily women's. And both have been successful. As far as Mercari, eBay, Depop, my Depop, I mainly just do the Nike stuff, and then I also do the vintage, because you know that's what Depop is all about. And Mercari, I just put everything, I cross-list everything. And then eBay, I really be wanting to get into eBay so bad, because I see the potential, but eBay is frustrating. And we can get into that in another video of why I have a love-hate relationship with eBay. But yeah, that's basically the background of how I started in reselling, and we'll get into future videos of just building up on all of that. So basically what you can expect from these videos are, I mean, if you're watching this video, you probably watch hundreds of reseller videos, but the reason why I wanted to get on YouTube is because as I'm one of those people who watch hundreds of Poshmark videos, hundreds of reseller videos, and there's so much great information out there, but I also notice sometimes when I'm watching them, or if I'm scrolling on my Facebook groups, or I just have a thought, I notice that there are also things on there that I wish had videos on them that they don't have videos on. So that's what I'm trying to put out there. So it's not just going to be your regular haul videos or what's sold videos, although those will be in here. I also wanted to put in a lot of other elements as well, such as sewing and recreating clothes. I wasn't doing that too much before, but basically since the coronavirus, I have been experimenting a little bit more with putting my element of sewing and creating different clothing out of thrifted clothes, to offer me some more inventory as well as something different and exciting. Because I had a big stockpile, or what do they call it, a money pile. I had a lot of stuff, and I still have stuff that I can post, but it's not as fun anymore. Like that excitement you get from thrifting, I'm not having anymore. So I decided to channel that into sewing and creating something new from stuff that are old. Also, what you'll see is just a variety. I have a whole list of stuff. I prepared, guys. I wanted to write down a whole bunch of video ideas before I even started YouTube. So there's definitely a whole lot of things that I really want to delve into that I don't see anywhere now on YouTube. And yeah, I think that's it for an introduction. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If I did, there'll be more videos. I want to try and do 2 videos a week if I can. That's the goal. Probably for the first few weeks or so, it'll be just 1 video a week, just so I can get my toes wet, just to see and feel it out. But I would like to get up to 2, and who knows, once I really get comfortable, maybe even more than that. But thanks so much for listening. Hopefully you come back. Subscribe if you want. I mean, this is my first video, so I don't know what you're subscribing to. Like, because you can like it. I mean, if you like the video, I appreciate that. And click the bell notification so you're notified when I start to upload more. So, thank you. Bye. Okay. Hi, guys. Hi, I'm Whitney. I'm a full-time reseller on the Poshmark app, on Mercari, on Depop,